I mean, of course, you look at different, you categorize what specialities you need. And to keep in mind also, just to go back to a point you said earlier in the question, which is, most of the specialities, for example, in the railway or so on, there are relevant authorities that are responsible for delivering that. So we're not responsible for delivering the railways, but we work very closely on the timelines and ensuring that it's moving along the right path. Having said that, what we do is, in terms of scouring, if you will, for the specialities and specialists out there, first thing is, for me personally, it's always initially word of mouth. People that you trust, that you know have got good judgment, and you always ask them for advice. I mean, one of the people that I've had the honor and the pleasure of talking and providing, for him to provide recommendations is Sir John Armand. We've talked to him a couple of times, met him a couple of times to get guidance. London 2012, I think goes without saying, was a successful tournament. So we were talking to a lot of members of the London 2012 team to see what experiences they have and what recommendations and advice they can give. We also move towards other local organizing committees, other people that we know within the industries that are very respected, and get their guidance as to where to target. But also what we're looking at is, we're looking at talent within the region. We're looking at developing talent as well, not necessarily just going for the people with the gray hair who've got the experience and have done it. We're also looking for people who have got the hunger, the ambition to be part of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, the World Cup in the Middle East. So we're looking to scour a lot of very talented younger generation who are hungry to develop and learn. And that's part of our legacy, developing a sustainable, if you will, knowledge-based economy, getting a lot of the youngsters to gain the expertise and experience, and if you will, cut their teeth on delivering this great tournament. It's being developed to provide a unique Middle Eastern experience. The point is for people to come and experience, as we said, the Middle East in its entirety and the richness of the culture. Because one of our promises, one of our goals is to ensure that this World Cup acts as a bridge between the East and the West. We've always said that, and we always believe that very fully. So when people visit Qatar, they'll be able to experience the Middle Eastern culture in its entirety. There's a lot of investment going on right now within that sector from different entities. So for example, you've got the Qatar Museum of Islamic Arts as an example of something that's on the ground today. It's a very unique, fascinating museum for whoever's visited it. Whoever hasn't visited, I'd urge you, if you visit Qatar, to actually go see it. It's a very unique element, and it adds a cultural side to it. There's also the Qatari Cultural Village, again, as another project that's on the ground today that's also being developed and being expanded, where you walk around the paths. It's very nicely designed so that it's uniquely designed so that wherever you're at a certain point in time, you experience that unique culture of the Middle East or wherever it is. So for example, you've got the Egyptian restaurant, which has got all the Egyptian festivities. So these are just two examples of what's on the ground today. The Qatar Tourism Authority, that's currently going through a restructuring and is being headed by a very bright and young individual, Aysel Mehennedi, who's also got a very expansionary vision towards developing it, is looking also towards developing the infrastructure, again, in that sense. A lot of investment in cultural activities, a lot of investments in terms of making sure that people, when they come, they feel very welcome, and they truly feel like they've been shifted from one part of the world, from one point in time to a different point in time, the culture, the richness of the history available, and hopefully when they leave, they'll leave with a very, very positive impression of the Middle East, and at the same time, Middle Easterners feel very proud of what they've been able to showcase. Absolutely. To start from Qatar and then move it wider. First thing, Qatar, if you look at all the major events that have occurred, if you look at the friendly matches that we've been able to host over the last few years, the attendance has been impressive. They've all, the fans will come out and flock out to watch the games, to watch the major tournaments. But if you look at the Emirates Cup final, if you look at all, the major friendly matches that we've held, fans show up. But if you move also to a wider element, and you look at the Middle East itself, the friendly matches, there was a lot of people within the neighboring countries that actually visited Qatar to attend these matches. Now, if you go along the street and you talk to any of the average individuals, any average Middle Easterner on the street, and tell them that the World Cup is literally on their doorstep, you can see the excitement in their eyes. People see, we're a football mad nation. The region is really crazy about football. You talk to them, and they're very passionate. The World Cup comes every 4 years, and you see people sitting down in their houses, in their coffee shops, just following it passionately. Now, can you imagine actually telling them, it's literally on your doorstep. You will be able to experience it firsthand. People are waiting for it. By then, people in the Middle East will be flocking to attend. So in terms of attendance, it's not an issue. But I add a further element as well. Qatar is centrally located. So if you go South America, it's a flight away to get to Qatar. If you go to North America, it's a flight away. Europe, it's 6 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, and you can make it. Africa, Asia, it's easily accessible from any part of the world. So also for the international fans as well, it is easily accessible to get to Qatar as well. So, and it is in the end the World Cup. So in terms of any fear about fan attendance, none whatsoever. It's 10 years. It's like, it's not a sprint. It's not a 100-meter sprint, and it's not a marathon. It's in between. It's like the 400-meter dash. You're not sprint. You cannot sprint. You cannot get all your infrastructure ready or all your stadiums ready by 2016. It's possible. 2016, 2017, it's possible to have it ready. Is it the most efficient way of doing it, having a stadium in place and then having to, maintain it and upgrade it for 2022? Might not be the most efficient way, but at the same time, would it be possible to actually hold on till 2020? That's when your targeted time is. Is that the right time? But then what if it slips? It's always trying to balance that requirement, making sure that you've got the right timing in place. It's that's definitely one element. The 10 years, you look at it and you think, people say it's a long time, other people say it's not, and you're just stuck in between it. It's neither this nor that. The other element, I guess, would be, it goes without saying, I think anybody who works in 2022 can say this easily. Our vision for the World Cup is ambitious. Yes. There's no doubts about that. But I think any nation that's hosting any major event, especially a nation that's hosting it for the first time, and like Qatar, has to always aspire to make the most out of it, has always to look at it as a way of whether, utilizing it as a catalyst for all the initiatives that the region is already undergoing, or breaking outside the box and offering something new to the rest of the world. And that itself, just living up to that promise constantly is always something that we always live up to. It's a standard that we'll never let go. But you always worried that is this slipping, is this not? But then you always trying to maintain it. So that's always something in the back of your mind. Delivering, making sure that you constantly deliver on the dream. So I think that challenge will not rest or will not go away until I think 2024, 2025.
Yeah, delivering on a dream does sound like pressure.
A little bit, but it's something that I think, personally for me, and I know for all the team members that are involved in it, it's a moment of pride, and it's a project that we're all proud of, and we will deliver on it.